Roy back once again. Today I have kind of a multi-purpose video. I'm going to start off with the pickups, and I'm going to explain why this is so important to me. Went to the thrift store this morning and found this Gateway desktop. Nothing special, you know. It's an AMD Athlon running at 1 gigahertz. It's from 2000, actually manufactured sometime the end of 2000. Again, it's got a 1 gigahertz AMD Athlon processor, about 768 megabytes of RAM. I believe it's a 30 or 40 gigabyte hard drive. It's got a CD burner on the bottom and just a regular CD-ROM on top. Now I'm going to explain to you why this is so important to me. Back in 1999, when I was a junior in high school, I got accepted to a place called the Chesapeake Center for Science and Technology. Very prestigious. Only a handful of kids get picked. I had to write an essay to actually get into it. Well, I did that my, junior and senior year, so that would have been 99 to 2001. In the end of my junior, that would have been in 2000, we went on a tour of the Gateway, the now defunct Gateway factory over in Hampton. And I had the best time there. We actually went there a few times in 1 week. I got to meet all the people there, the people that build the machines, the manager, at the time his name was Mr. Humphreys. They were all very nice, and over the week we went there I learned quite a bit. Well, you might have guessed it by now, this is one of those computers. This, I did check, was built in the Hampton location. So anyway, that's why this holds. This is kind of near and dear to my heart. I really wanted to get one of these for a long time, and they're not that easy to find. And the ones that I found like this in the past were not made in Hampton. They were made, I can't remember where it was, somewhere out in the Midwest where the other Gateway plant was. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you guys the inside real quick. And on the front here you have two USB 1.1 ports and then an artifact for a FireWire, which this model obviously didn't have, and then of course your power button. Now this is a very heavy older computer. They were very well constructed back then. To open it, if you guys can see this or not, there we go. There are these two clamps. There's one on the bottom here where my finger is, and then one on top here. You pull them in opposite directions, so top one up, bottom one down, and you have to use quite a bit of force to do it. Ugh. Sometimes you gotta do one at a time. And then the side cover just pops, and then you pull it off. Alright, now, inside this beautiful machine, we have the hard drive bay. Now this can actually fit 3 hard drives, and the cool thing about this case is it's all toolless. To uninstall the hard drive, you just take the cables off, and there's this little green piece on the side here. You push that forward, and then just pull the hard drive out. Oh. I'm sorry guys, that one was actually loosened, I think, already. It was supposed to be forward, so I just pull it back and then the hard drive comes out. And let's see what we have here. Wow, I thought this may have been a 30. As you can see, this is actually only a 20 gigabyte Quantum Fireball drive, which was not uncommon for that time. It's a Fireball 1CT. I may actually leave this in here, believe it or not, if this is a good hard drive, because this is going to be replacing my Windows 98 system. Yes, unfortunately guys, the Windows 98 computer bit the dust. There's an intermittent motherboard problem, so it'll only post about 50% of the time. So to put this back, Just slide it in where you want it. Push this lever forward, and then just plug everything back in. Now I have you guys on the tripod right now, so I'm going to move it a little bit closer here. You guys can see. This is the power supply, which is put in upside down. It is an Aztec. Never heard of that brand before. 350 watt power supply. Right in here we have the AMD, zoom in, Athlon 1 gigahertz processor. This is the very first series of the Athlon CPUs. The cooler is pretty small because, of course, you know, 1 gigahertz really doesn't put out too much heat. No case fan in this model, but you can see there was definitely an artifact for one. And there is an extra fan header on the motherboard, so I may be adding a case fan to this. I'll have to see how it goes. Down here we have the cards. This first one is a 3DFX VGA card, which I am most likely going to leave in there because this will be an excellent card for vintage video games. Let's see. Here we have the some type of IDE controller. I think this was to give it a faster bus. I think this, because normally this is a 66 megahertz bus in here. This card would bring it up to the 133, but I'm not sure. I'll have to do some more research on that. Underneath here, I don't think you guys can really see it, but next to this is just the network card. Looks like some type of D-Link card. I'll probably wind up just keeping that in there. Right above that, when this card's actually even smaller, let me see if I can get that. If I can lower this down, you guys might be able to see that. There we go. Right in here, that's a USB, wait a minute, down here, that's a USB 2.0 card. And I'll show you guys the back of that. And of course the bottom one is a just a regular Sound Blaster card. All PCI, no ISA in this. I guess this was right at that transition time, but I'm glad it doesn't, because we're not, for what we're doing with this, I'm not going to need any ISA cards. Alright, moving the computer to the back. We have your standard array of ports. You have your PS2 keyboard and mouse, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, serial port, parallel port, and down there, let's see if I can put some light on this, have the VGA card right here. There's the 4-port USB 2.0 hub. Now I didn't verify this is 2.0, but if they added a card like this, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be 2.0. There's your Ethernet card and the Sound Blaster, and I'm trying to see if, I believe just by the looks of it this is a D-Link, but there's no markings. I'll have to take it out later to be sure. Okay, and here's something interesting. This is the actual sticker on the back. See if you guys can read that or not. I'm going to try to get it to focus. There we go. Okay. So you can see right there, it's a model ATX STF OXN Select 1000. The 1000 actually means that it's 1 gigahertz. The reason that I know it was made here is you see that gateway HV right there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up that well. That means it was made in basically the Hampton area of Virginia. I looked that up online. There's the manufacturer's date. It is 10/24/2000. So yeah, it was definitely made at the tail end of 2000. And I don't know if you guys saw this before. I guess somebody actually wrote printer, which is kind of ironic because for the time that this computer was made, it'd be very rare to have a USB printer. I would have much more have expected it to be some type of parallel like this one. So what are my plans for this computer? Well, I know some of you guys are not going to like what I'm going to say, but because this computer is so near and dear to me, I want to keep it as original as possible. So I am going to install the operating system that originally came with this computer and the sticker that it has. And some of you have probably already guessed what that is, but I'm going to tell you anyway. It's Windows Millennium Edition. Yes, I know, the infamous Windows Millennium Edition. So I am going to do away with Windows 98 and, at least for now, use Windows Millennium, because Millennium will play the exact same games as Windows 98. I know a lot of you guys might not like my decision about this, but it's my computer. So please go easy on me in the comments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video here. I don't want to make it too long, so I'm going to have a separate video once I start working on the computer, because I don't think there are too many Windows Millennium installations on YouTube, so I definitely want to document that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I always enjoy doing them. Stay tuned for part 2 of this, and remember, as always, have a blessed day, everybody. Alright, YouTube. Madam Roy back again with part 2 of this gateway build. I realize there's a few things I do want to change, so I figured we'd start with what I'm going to do to upgrade this system. The first thing I want to do, if I can bring you guys just a little closer here. I don't know how well that's coming. Let me see if I turn night shot off. There we go. Okay. First thing I want to do is actually change out this floppy drive. As you can see, this cover on here is broken, so that's the very first thing I'm going to do. Secondly, I'm going to upgrade this CD-ROM drive to a DVD burner. And then thirdly, I'm going to add another hard drive. And these are the parts I'm going to be using. This is a 30 gigabyte Maxter Diamond Max drive. These hard drives are usually total garbage, but I've actually run through this drive with a bunch of tests, and everything tested good. So for now, it's going to definitely go in the computer. Secondly, we have just another replacement floppy drive. This one just happens to be a Panasonic. And then I just have a older white front DVD burner. See, this is actually a dual layer, which I'll never use that feature in this computer, but that's okay. And this is an NEC, and this was manufactured in 2006. The one upgrade I've done so far is the memory. It originally came with the 512 stick of PC-133, and that was 133 megahertz. And then it had this 64 megabyte stick of 133 megahertz RAM. And then for some reason there was a Centon stick, 128 megabytes, 100 megahertz. So I definitely want to get the 100 megahertz one out of there for two reasons. One, because it's going to be a bottleneck because the other two sticks were running at 133. And two, I cannot stand the Centon brand. I've used their memory in the past, and almost every stick I've ever had of theirs has gone bad at one time or another. So right now in here I have, well, basically 768 megabytes RAM. I have the 512 stick and another 256 stick that I have. I'm not sure if this computer can recognize that much memory, but we're going to go ahead and give it a try. So the very next thing I'm going to do is start to upgrade the rest of these drives here. And it's nice and easy to do with this computer. Everything was designed very well. I've already disconnected the floppy drive power and data connection, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. Basically with this computer, all you have to do is push this little lever backwards, and then the drive just slides right out, just like that. And let me match these drives up real quick. Yep, they are a match. They're, wow, check this out, guys. This is just totally random. They are exactly the same drive and the same model. How often does that happen? Except, like I said, this one has a really wonky cover for some reason. And then putting the drive in the system is as simple as it was to take it out. So we just slide that in. I'm going to match up the one screw hole here, but you don't even really need the screw. And then just push it forward. And the drive's nice and snug in there. And basically for doing the CD-ROM, it's exactly the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the video down here. And when I pick it up again, we'll be ready to install Windows Millennium Edition.